Community Music East is a vehicle for opportunity. The kind of people who we've worked with throughout our history are those who might not otherwise have had access to the kind of facilities and resources which we can offer. We have a long history of working with people who are, I think the term now is, hard to reach. We have a long history working with adults with mental health difficulties, with people with physical disabilities, and with young people who are either in or very close to being in the justice system.
Community Music East is a charity, essentially, that's limited by guarantee, and here at CME we run workshops in music and more recently in multimedia with a whole range of different users. Generally, the beneficiaries of the work are benefiting from pathways into learning, or maybe they're developing soft skills like greater social skills, self-confidence, that kind of thing. And generally a lot of the work that we do is in the context of what we call lifelong learning.
We offer a whole range of workshops ranging from junk percussion through to high-end music technology, where we use computers and industry standard software to record and to sequence music. We also, besides everything in between, rock band setup, a bit of DJing, percussion workshops, instrument-specific work using guitars or voice or whatever. We also are engaged in what we would call creative media work as well, where we're using computers basically to animate, to do video work and so on. But increasingly what I would also say is all that work is becoming more intermingled, that it's not just about making music or about doing a bit of digital photography, it's about working on a whole kind of product, because culturally it's not just about music or that, it's the whole thing, isn't it,
Well done. It's not bad, is it? That's quite a good sort of show of what you can do with quite a small amount of time, really.
A lot of our public courses are geared towards adults who perhaps are out of work. We're particularly concentrating on NEETs at the moment, who are young people out of education, employment or training. With those public courses, they are now accredited, and they're essentially an activity, a fun activity to get people back into learning. Some of our other closed programmes work with children up to 18. We've got a project called Music Wise, which is music for anyone up to the age of 18, right from toddlers. We do some work for social services. We have a mental health project, which is for mental health survivors. We've done some work with people with learning disabilities. And there's a whole range of different clients that get some benefit out of the work that we do, and we generally have specific projects tailored towards those clients. There's a number of ways in which we market ourselves. I think the reputation of the activity is quite strong, and certainly word of mouth is a big help to us, particularly within communities around Norfolk. But the public work itself is marketed quite heavily through, we have a quarterly brochure, we have advertising on radio, newspapers, journals, those sorts of things. And we also have some community liaison workers who are essentially some of our tutors that actually go out into the communities and talk about the work that we're doing and which beneficiaries might benefit from the work, or which people might benefit from the work.
I think the kind of creative work we're involved in, because it is creative and because it calls upon people to find things for themselves and to bring it forth, it does something. If you've worked with children, you know that they don't need to give themselves permission to do something. You present an opportunity, they'll take it, they'll do it. If you put an instrument in front of them, they'll play it. They don't have the kind of fears we seem to have loaded into us as adults. The real value of our work is we create a space where people can be creative, and in being creative, I think we often surprise ourselves. And once that's opened up, then there's no end to what people could think about the do. So a simple thing would be, say, we start from a point where I'm saying, I can't do this thing, and then I do it. And then having done it, I can then reflect on that and say, well, if I can do that, maybe I can go and do that computer course I want to do, or maybe I could face something else. And so that's the way it works.
I think I'm actually improving. Well done, Georgie. Get the first line.
I think essentially the traditional model of charities was to get trust funding to carry out good work. More recently, certainly for CME, it's more a case of contract work, particularly with organisations like the Learning Skills Council. We're taking on contracts to deliver work. It's more than just being a charity that does good things, encourages people to dip their hand in their pocket. We are a competitive business that will deliver results for other agencies, and that's much more the way that the work's going for us, you know.
So let's just sort of recap where we were last week.
We'll bid for work. We'll be made aware of certain tenders that are going out, and we will put in a bid for that work, you know, including a properly budgeted business plan. They may be 2 or 3 year projects. They will list the outcomes that we expect from the work and a full costing as well. As well as the sort of contract and charitable work that we're doing, I think more recently we've realised that there are potential products that we've developed almost by default as we've been delivering our other work that are also marketable to more sort of corporate clients, such as training services, recording services, those sorts of things. And we're looking much more at how we can exploit those as an income stream. And I think that's something that we have learned more about and are looking to exploit. The participants that turn up for our workshops always take away a sense of achievement. I think that's the single most common thing throughout all the work that we do. I think many users come away feeling that they've achieved something. They may have achieved something that they didn't think they were capable of, or maybe something they had a slight interest in and realised, you know, there was something that they can really get their teeth into and really enjoy. I think a lot of people come away feeling more confident about themselves and realising that there's other things that they can do, that, you know, maybe gives them ideas about other things that they can pursue, other interests, other activities.
The oldest surviving piece of work we do is a regular piece where every week a number of people have been involved in mental health services for the last 20 odd years, come here, make music and talk about the issues affecting their lives. And well, we work with anyone who requires that work to be done.